You. How are
Hello,
you?
I'm fine. How
Nice
do you
to be
do?
with you. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you for the
I'm
thank you
very
for
happy
the
to
invite.
I'm very happy to be with you. And uh, how do you do when we haven't seen?
Oh, it's fine. I've been back to work and everything runs
Hmm.
smoothly. Although I've been talking to my colleagues and to my students about this rich experience we have had last week, and
Oh, thank you
everybody's
so much.
thrilled. Yes, everybody's thrilled. And everybody, I've talked to everyone about your beautiful hospitality and the
Oh,
interesting
thank you very
people,
much.
yes, and the interesting people I have met. So everybody really felt, really great about this
Hmm.
Erasmus Plus experience that we all have had.
Uh, Whenever you wanna come to Istanbul, we'll always hostile you and your family.
Well, thank you. That is very, very kind of you.
And
Same applies here. Whenever you come to
uh,
Thessaloniki, please feel
okay,
free to contact me and we will catch up with our news there.
thank you so much. Uh, my
Recording
students
in
are still
my
learning.
students are still learning.
My students are still learning English. For that reason, I want to translate what they say into English.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh,
Yes, yes.
as you know, English is very important, especially the global communication
Hmm. Hmm.
language in daily life. And then uh, I want students to learn how to English is important and how they are speaking and improve their speaking skills. And
All right.
for that reason, and then you could help me maybe, and you can be different respect for my students. You are very
Okay.
valuable for us, and
Okay.
we are very excited for this. And if you are ready, we can start immediately.
Yes, yes, of course. So I can see the first question being here. Hello,
Yeah.
students. Hello, everybody. And their parents, of course. I'm sure they are listening behind their students, behind their children.
Uh-huh.
So I've got a very interesting question here. As I can
Uh-huh.
see, English has become a global communication tool.
Yes.
Absolutely. What do you think learning English is important, not only for academic purposes, but also for personal development? Well,
Yes.
students, yes. So the
Hmm.
thing is that English is more than a school subject because actually it is a bridge to the real world. English opens the world and the door to new cultures. It helps us make new friendships and
Hmm.
enjoy new experiences. So, when you can speak English, you can connect with people from different cultures and you can explore international media and you can learn many things online. Also, guys, on a personal level,
Hmm.
you can use your English when traveling. For instance, when I came to Istanbul, I don't speak any Turkish. So I used my English. So it was very useful for me because everywhere I talked to in English, they replied to me, and that was really useful. Also, when you play online games, you can
Hmm.
find people who speak English and students can enjoy their games. I'm sure they play a lot of online games, so English is very useful. Also, when you watch movies,
Hmm.
you can watch it without subtitles. So this is also very useful.
Hmm.
And it also helps us to open up our mind because we get all the time new experiences and we can embrace new opportunities in our everyday life and we can easily overcome more challenges. So, for these reasons, it is quite important, not only at school, but in everyday life. Games, traveling, self
Hmm.
development, and entertainment.
I'm on the same way with you, and I want to say it's not only a general language; it's also an academic language.
Of course,
I
yes.
always say my students, English is very important for being an academic English and the general spoken English in daily life. and it is very popular all over the world.
It is, absolutely. And the majority of people speak English, even if this is not their mother tongue. In other words,
Yeah.
even if they learn it at school or not.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, let's move on to the second question.
In a world where
Okay.
technology and globalization are rapidly advancing, and we can follow us, and how can being proficient in English create for opportunities for students?
Okay. First of all, it creates a lot of opportunities because we can study. It's for academic success. A lot of books when you study are written in English. So if you know how to speak English, then you can study more important and more modern books. For example, if you Google something in English or if you Google it something in Turkish, you will get more information in English. You will have more data coming up in English than in Turkish, I believe. So yes, it is very important for our studies. Also, job opportunities. For instance, it is the language of science, of business and technology. So most international companies nowadays require employees to speak and communicate in English. So whether you follow a career in information technology or in business administration, in tourism as well, you need to know English. Otherwise, you won't be employed. You won't be able to make good money and live a happy life. So that's why it's very important. And also, it is very important because you can make your voice being heard. In other words, you can take part in discussions about global issues like climate change, about artificial intelligence, and so much more. So you can make your voice being heard. If you speak English, the whole planet can listen to you and you can
Okay.
take part in that. It's very important.
Yes, I think it is very sun efficient, as you say, and then English is a new world.
It is yes, it opens up
It is
to
a
a
new
whole new
world,
world.
and to how can I say, to expire new opportunities, new facilities, especially in some countries who with when that they are lack of facilities, and they have to speak and learn how to speak English and improve their speaking skills. I think so.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, 3.
Yes.
What are some of the most common challenges students face when learning English?
Challenges, huh?
I want to divide into 2 questions, if you allow me, because
Yes, sure.
it is more important for me to tell it. And then first question, what are some of the most common challenges students face when learning English?
All right. So, judging by experience, most students are afraid of mistakes.
Yes.
They think they don't know much and that people, the rest of the classmates, we might laugh, or they think that their teacher might give them a bad mark if they make mistakes. So this is one of their fears. Also, they are afraid of talking in front of people, or they feel worried for listening skills. Sometimes native speakers of English or very confident speakers of English speak rather fast. So they feel that they might miss information. That is another challenge. And of course, quite often people are afraid of grammar because there are a lot of grammar rules in English language, and sometimes English language is different to the language we learn at home, so this creates problems to the students. However, I've got advice for all of these issues to give to your students.
Yeah.
So if you're afraid, guys, if you're afraid of mistakes, making mistakes, please stop being afraid, because mistakes are part of the natural process of learning. If you don't make mistakes, you won't learn the language. So if you make mistakes, that's good. It means that your brain works effectively and that you are in a good way to learn the language.
Uh,
Everybody has made mistakes. Everybody
yeah,
makes mistakes. So
absolutely.
nobody's gonna laugh. Don't worry
Uh,
about this.
Please let me translate this into Turkish
Sure, it's
because
very
it's very
important.
important
Yes,
for
it is very
değerli
important.
veliler ve
Absolutely.
sevgili çocuklar. Hocamız şunu diyor, hata yapmaktan kesinlikle korkmayın. Her hata size yeni bir şey öğretir. Ve kesinlikle mükemmel olmaya çalışmayın demeye getiriyor aslında. Mükemmelliği değil, elinizden geleni yapın. Hata yapmaktan kesinlikle korkmadan üzerine gidin demeye getiriyor. Yani bunu sizlere her şey için söylüyorum. Her ders için söylüyorum. Hayatta her şey için hata yapmaktan kesinlikle korkmuyorsunuz çocuklar. Thank you so much. And the other section of this question, and what advice would you give them to overcome these challenges?
Okay, now, as I said before, sometimes when people speak English, we miss information, listening skills. We
Yeah.
don't have good listening, so this is quite difficult, especially when students go for exams. So, for this thing, students can listen to a lot of songs in English.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they like English songs, a lot of them every day. Can you be listening to music and songs? Perfect for your listening skills. Also, you can watch movies with subtitles at the beginning and then without subtitles. In English, though, not in Turkish. Okay, so that you help
Okay.
yourself. And also, you can listen to podcasts. Do they know podcasts? Do you think
Yes.
they know? Yes, okay.
Yes, of
Podcasts are
course.
very good for them. And
Absolutely.
mhm,
Especially.
and and while you're listening to podcasts, pay attention to the speaker's pronunciation, the way they
Hmm.
pronounce the words. So if you pay attention to that and you copy it, then you will start talking like British or American people. And you won't sound like a Turkish or, whatever, wherever is your origin. So this is good practice. Also, for grammar, I'm going to give you an advice for grammar. It's not enough to memorize grammar rules. You have to practice it, and you can practice it in real life situations. That means that you can write, let's say, keep notes in a diary every day. What you do, you can write a small diary, and that is in English.
Mm-hmm.
Or listen to this: if you chat with your friends, chat in English.
Yes.
It's going to be really good for both of them, and it's going to be fun. Lots of my students also chat in English, even if they speak themselves by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and that helps them. So it is a little practice, and it's fun. So this is it for grammar. And above all, I would like to tell you, never give up. Use games, use social media if you can,
Mm-hmm.
chat with friends, and your English will improve. So this is
Okay.
it. Never give up.
Uh,
Practice every day.
you're right. And most of students think that grammar is the best. And if you don't about English grammar, we can't speak. They consider it, but this is absolutely incorrect. And not it is not important to be perfect.
Exactly.
They should try what they do,
Exactly.
whatever they do.
Basically,
Hmm.
students need a lot of vocabulary. If
Yeah.
you have vocabulary, if you've got the words, people will understand you, even with wrong grammar. But if you only have grammar and no words, nobody's going to understand you. So study your vocabulary, use your vocabulary, and grammar will come afterwards. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for this question. And the question four,
Yes.
one of the most important questions, I think so. How do you think technology has changed the way we learn English?
Okay. Now, technology has made learning English easier nowadays because
Hmm.
we have a lot to a lot of English in front of us. You can play games using your computer, not only online games, but you can play games like Wordwall or Quizlet.
Yeah.
You can find lots of vocabulary, interactive, educational games. Also, you can find applications on your mobile phone, just like Duolingo. Duolingo is very user-friendly for students for their age. So every day they can practice a little bit with Duolingo. Also, there are websites like BBC Learning English.
BBC.
And yes, I think I should write them to chat here. BBC. Just give me a second. I will type for you. Learning English.
Uh-huh.
That is one. There is also Learn English Teens, and that is by British Council, which is very good for
Okay, what
the
about
for
Cambridge published?
yes, that is also good. I'm just also you can here the Learn English thing has got podcasts, has got interactive lessons, lots of videos you can attend, listening practice as well, and they are for free. And also, it is divided into levels. You've got beginners, medium, and advanced. So students, with a bit of a help, can find what they want. Also, another thing which is I really, really enjoy are TED Talks.
Okay. In order to be a good computer science teacher, we have to know how to speak and how to speak English and improve our English skills. And for that reason, when I was at university, I was at prep class, and then there was a teacher who is from America. Yeah, who was from America, and he said that learn it or not. It is not important for me. Otherwise,
Yes.
you failed. And then when I was 19, and I did have to learn how to speak English, but I'm very happy now. I'm very happy to be speaking English very well. And then I advise my students to speak English very well and to try to how can I say it? Try to uh, afford some new things to gain. And then the other section çocuklar. Sorry. Çocuklar bak atarım. Yapmayın şunları. Okay. And do you recommend the students who want to improve their language skills?
Yes. So if they want to improve, yes, definitely, I recommend this. And also,
Mm-hmm.
they can, use internet with these platforms. I have also recommended BBC
Mm-hmm.
Learning English, Learn English Teens, Wordwall Games, and Quizlet. Okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
Wordwall and Quizlet.
Mm-hmm.
Quizlet, if I'm not mistaken here. Yes, Quizlet. Oops, Quizlet, not quiz.
I'm sorry for the
It's
screen.
okay, don't worry. I understand.
Okay. The last question. With the rise of online learning platforms and the language exchange apps, how can students make the most of this resource to enhance their English proficiency?
Now, what students can do is, first
Mm-hmm.
of all, to make a routine. In other words, we have these online learning platforms, but if they don't use it regularly, they won't make the most out of it. In other words, they
Mm-hmm.
have to make it a routine and use it daily. That is a very first thing they have to do. And they have to set a goal. For example, every day I will learn 5 new words, or I will watch a short video, or I will listen to a song. So they have to put it into their daily routine. This is number one. Secondly, they can use other platforms like Coursera and edX, where they offer language learning programs with great opportunities. And also, another thing they can do is not only to attend lessons, but also to create content. And that is, they can record themselves while speaking, for instance, and then listen to it. Or they record a short video of themselves and see how they look like. This actually helps them to develop confidence when speaking. And of course, they can participate in online discussions with other children. There are language exchange apps, but I'm not suitable if they are suitable for their age. I'm sure they are good for adults and older students. For example, there is Tandem. I know there is Tandem and Hello Talk. But I'm not quite sure if they are for underage students, middle school students. So we will have to check it out before we actually recommend it. I mean, for adults, it's fine. But for students, I would only recommend the ones I have put in chat.
Okay, I can research some things for my students, as you say.
Yes.
And then,
yeah, for instance, there is Tandem, but you have to make sure that high school students under 18 can participate, because in some of them you've got live interactions. They see face to face with someone, with an English speaking person, and we have to be really careful for student security, actually.
okay.
Maybe it's only for adults, these ones. I'm not quite sure. Okay.
Okay.
So, above all, I have to recommend students to listen to their teachers, study every day their homework, practice in English, even by chatting with one another, listen to a lot of songs, watch a lot of films in English with English subtitles, and not to be afraid to speak in English, even in front of other people. Never afraid of your mistakes. We love our mistakes, and this is the only way we will improve.
What you tell is really important. And then, but most of students, unfortunately, are frightened of doing mistakes, and they try to be perfect, the best. And it is the most common opinion around my students, unfortunately.
Yes.
And then your advice are valuable for us.
Lovely.
And then that's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you so much.
I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you take my advice
Of
and
course.
improve your English a little bit every day. Thank you for your kind invitation. It was a pleasure being with you. And
Thank you
good
so
luck with
much.
your studies, children.
Thank you so much.
you.
We are very pleased to be with you again. And I want to see you in Istanbul maybe one day. And
Yes, why
please,
not?
I remember this. I remind this to you. Don't forget to visit Izmir, please. It is very
No, of
similar. The
course.
family with Izmir. The Telesaloniko is
Exactly.
very familiar with Izmir. And then thank
We'll
you
be in
for
touch.
your
We will be in touch. Thank you for your kind
okay.
invitation.
Yeah,
Bye-bye,
okay. Thank you
everyone.
for your advice. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Good evening.
Bye-bye.